Yes, good afternoon, class. Again, I want to just talk briefly on 1-3, and that is differentiate between a memo and a letter, according to your course outline. A memo and a letter. Remember last week I gave you the different parts of the two types of letter that we have, and I gave the categories of business letters. Don't learn to forget. We have 4 categories of business letters. And I said written communication is our concern in this course. All the types of letters should be known. They are the categories of business letters. So whether you are writing personal or business, the important thing is to communicate your intention to your reader. It is not enough for you to just pencil down your thoughts or ideas. You have to communicate. And communication has to do with 2 people or more. It is a 2-way process between the speaker and the listener. Yes, it is a 2-way process. It is a 2-way process between the speaker and the listener, as well as between the writer and the reader. I said it is not enough for you to write and jump up that you have written. It is until the result is released. That's when you know whether you have truly communicated or not. So whether you are writing personal or business letter, the important thing is to communicate. I have different types of letters in this book, starting with application letter, inquiry, complaint, letter of invitation. I equally have sample of a formal and an informal letter, and I've given you as an assignment to write a personal letter differently from business letter to authenticate your knowledge on the parts in accordance with the parts that I gave you. I have examples in the book here. Now, memorandum. Memorandum is a type of correspondence. Yes, is a type of correspondence. And we have memo as a short form of memorandum. We have internal memorandum, which is letters also letter within an organization. That is a memorandum. I have said earlier that correspondence is the movement of message from one part to another. And this movement could be within the organization or outside it. The movement is facilitated, that is within an organization, through memorandum, circular, or letters. Memorandum is for internal communication. I said the short form of memorandum is memo. It came originally from the Latin memorate, which means literally a thing to be remembered. That is something that is penciled down that should be remembered at all times. It is a short piece of writing used within an organization or establishment to convey information, seek approvals, give directives, inform, pass one message or the other among workers, make requests, delegate responsibilities, etc. Yabatech as an institution now use memorandum to pass one message or the other around. Memoranda is the plural, while memorandum is the singular. Both of them are acceptable as internal equivalent of letters and can be sent anyhow, electronically, by email, in hard copy, or handwritten, depending on the situation at hand. So it is the message that will determine how it is going to be written. Memo or memorandum is usually written on specially designed paper with the name of the organization printed on each sheet. That is, internal memorandum is printed on it to differentiate it from the company letterhead. Memo must be short, direct, and precise. It must equally be straightforward, and the purpose for which it is written must be stated succinctly. So the right diction, devoid of ambiguity, must be used so that communication can be achieved. The tone of the memo must be polite and courteous, but it must be business-like because it's a business correspondence. Irrelevancies must be avoided. The desired intention must be communicated. And memorandum usually have a continuity purpose because it can be documented and retrieved for future reference. If you have worked in a company before, you know what I'm talking about. Memo is usually used within an organization to pass one message or the other, especially from the top to the bottom. That is, from the CEO down to the clerical officers, from director down to the deans or HODs and HODs to staff and students. So memorandum is used in lieu of letter in an organization to pass one message or the other across. Now let us differentiate between a memo and a letter. Both memo and letter are all under written forms of communication. Yes, when I gave the types of correspondence, letter is number 1, followed by memorandum. So both of them are under written form of communication. Both are official documents. Letter has addresses. On the other hand, memo does not have address. The date, last week I said the date is not negotiable. It should be fully written in letter, but memo permits some abbreviations. A letter must have salutation, remember, from our parts, while there is none in memo. The title or heading in letter is called subject in memo. We have subject heading. But it is subject in memo. Every writing must be structured. So there are 3 structures in writing. We have the introductory paragraph, that is the introduction. We have body, and we have conclusion. Whatsoever you write, like I said last week, must be paragraphed. So everything that you commit to writing must be structured. The structure is otherwise known as paragraph, and it is your subject heading that will determine the number of paragraphs that will be written. Again, your subject heading, which is the title, will determine the number of paragraphs that will be written. The complementary closing is in letter, but not in memorandum. The signature is compulsory in letter, but necessary in memo. You can see the differences. Memorandum also must be signed, just as business letter. Memorandum does not need name, whereas you need to put your name under the complementary closing letter. That's why we say complementary close is in letter, but not in memorandum. Both are means of written communication. Both of them are under correspondence. Remember again, the important thing is to communicate. Communication entails you having a message or information to give and giving it appropriately, whether orally or in written. But remember, anything written is permanent. So in effect, you must write well to make sure you communicate your intention adequately. The next topic is what I gave you as assignment. That is to prepare a portfolio of correspondence using different presentation techniques: appointments, promotions, dismissal, commendations, queries, condolences, and congratulations. I want to believe that you have started writing. Write them appropriately, differently from each other. Don't copy anybody. Think and write your own. All of them are letters that must be written for one reason or the other, for the purpose of information, sales, goodwill, or to resolve one problem or the other. The next topic is comprehension, and I don't usually enjoy teaching it without the textbook. But for the situation we find ourselves, we may not have much ado than for us to teach it. But when I teach it, just bear in mind that whenever we have opportunity, you are going to write on it for me.